So, there I was, Jenna, just cruising through the local park, headphones in, blaring some old school rock. The breeze was nice, and it was just one of those perfect days for being lost in your own world. I'd just wrapped up a coding sprint for the new app one was developing. Working from home has its perks, like no one cares if you're in your pajamas at 3 in the afternoon. As I was rounding the bend near the old oak tree, that's when it happened. Out of nowhere, I collided with what felt like a brick wall, sending my phone flying and ripping my headphones out. I barely had time to register the surprised yelp that matched mine. "Oh, crap. I'm so sorry." I blurted out, scrambling to my feet, brushing dirt off my jeans. The brick wall turned out to be a guy, probably around my age, with a shock of brown hair and a kind of sheepish grin that immediately put me at ease. He was already picking up my phone, checking if it was okay. "Hey, no harm done, but maybe watch where you're dancing next time." He chuckled, handing back my phone which, thank God, was still in one piece. "Thanks, and yeah, I guess I got carried away with the tunes. I'm Jenna, by the way," I said, still a bit embarrassed, but relieved he was cool about it. "I'm Jake. Seems like you've got a killer taste in music," Jake said, nodding towards my phone. We both laughed it off, and I noticed he was holding a frisbee. "You play?" I asked, gesturing to it. "Yeah, was just about to start a game with some friends, but they bailed." "You play?" "Not really, but there's a first time for everything, right?" I shrugged. It wasn't like I had plans, and he seemed like good company. "Cool, let me show you the ropes then." His smile was infectious, and honestly, I was already curious about him. We spent the next hour tossing the frisbee, chatting about everything from our favorite bands to our jobs. Turns out, Jake was an engineer at a local tech startup, which gave us tons to talk about since we were both in the tech field. It felt so easy, like chatting with an old friend. As the sun began to set, Jake glanced at his watch. "Hey, you hungry? I was gonna grab a bite at the cafe across the street. Join me?" I was actually starving, and I figured, why not? "Sure, let's go. But just a heads up, if they have chili fries, I'm not sharing," I warned him playfully. "Huh, challenge accepted. Let's see if their chili fries are worth the hype then," he said as we started walking towards the cafe. By the time we said goodbye, it was clear this wasn't going to be just a one-time thing. Jake asked for my number, and I gave it to him, feeling that buzz you get when you know something good just started. After a few months of dating Jake, things were going pretty damn well. But like every romantic movie where the sun's always shining, there had to be a cloud somewhere. That cloud, in my story, turned out to be Linda, Jake's mom. "So, you're finally going to meet my mom," Jake said one Saturday morning as we were having breakfast. He had this half-smile, half-wince thing going on. "Just a heads up, she's a bit intense." "Intense like how?" "Like secret government conspiracy intense or believes in aliens intense?" I joked, trying to lighten the mood. "More like reads your horoscope and judges your life choices intense," he replied, shaking his head. We drove over to Linda's house later that day. It was one of those perfectly manicured homes you see on TV shows, where you know something's too good to be true. Jake knocked, and the door swung open. There she was, Linda, in all her glory, wearing a flowery dress that screamed, "I'm the boss here." "Jakey, and you must be Jenna," Linda said, eyeing me like I was some specimen under a microscope. Come in, come in." The living room looked like it was ripped straight out of a 1950s home decor magazine, complete with a giant bookshelf filled with all sorts of astrology books. I kid you not, there was a crystal ball on the coffee table. Linda wasted no time. "So, Jenna, when's your birthday?" she asked, as soon as we sat down on her floral couch. April 17th, I said, a bit thrown off by the sudden interest in astrology. "Aries, huh? She frowned, flipping through one of her many books. "And Jakey here is a Pisces. Not the best match, astrologically speaking. You do know that, right?" Jake rolled his eyes, giving me a sorry about this look. "Mom, come on, not everyone believes in that stuff." But they should, especially when it comes to important life decisions. Linda shot back, giving me a sharp look. You see, Jenna, Aries are headstrong and impulsive, and Pisces are dreamers, sensitive. It can lead to conflicts, you know. I wasn't sure how to respond. I mean, who goes full psychic mode 5 minutes after meeting someone? Well, we've been getting along just fine so far, I managed to say, trying not to offend her but also standing my ground. Linda hummed disapprovingly, tapping her fingers on her astrology book. We'll see about that. Life's not just about the good times, dear. The rest of the visit was pretty awkward. Linda kept dropping hints about ensuring compatibility and watching out for the retrogrades. I couldn't believe the stuff coming out of her mouth. Jake was super apologetic on the drive home. Sorry about that. She can be a bit much, he admitted, looking genuinely embarrassed. A bit much? Jake, she basically said we're doomed because I'm an Aries, I said, trying to laugh it off, but honestly, it stung a bit. Driving back, I mulled over everything. Linda was definitely a force to be reckoned with, but I wasn't about to let her or her astrological charts dictate my relationship. I liked Jake a lot, and no amount of bad star alignment was going to change that. So there we were, a year into this whirlwind, and somehow, despite all the cosmic crap Linda tried to throw our way, Jake popped the question. We were at our favorite pizza spot. Jake got all nervous, which was funny, because he's usually Mr. Cool. He slipped the ring box across the table right as I was about to dive into a slice. Jenna, will you marry me? He blurted out, almost knocking over his drink. I was so shocked I nearly choked on my pizza. Hell yes, I managed to get out, once I stopped coughing. Everyone around us started clapping, and I was just there, all teary-eyed and laugh-crying. Planning the wedding, on the other hand, was anything but beautiful at first. Trying to make a guest list and figure out a venue was stressful enough without Linda's constant input. You know, Jenna, Mars is in retrograde around your wedding date. That's really not a good sign, Linda warned one afternoon, while we were looking over some flower arrangements at my place. I rolled my eyes so hard I thought they might stick that way. Linda, we're not picking a date based on Mars, Mercury, or any planet. We're picking it because the venue we want is available then, and it's special to us. The wedding day finally came, and despite Linda's dire predictions, it was perfect. Sunny skies, not too hot, not too cold. All our friends and family were there, laughing and having a good time. Even Linda managed to put on a smile, though it looked a bit forced. After the ceremony, during the reception, Linda pulled me aside. Her expression was serious, which wasn't surprising given our past chats. Jenna, I still think you should reconsider this union. You might be happy now, but what about when the stars shift? I had just about enough at this point. Linda, I'm married to your son now. I'm not reconsidering anything. We're happy, and that's what matters. She huffed a bit, looking around as if the answer was going to pop out from behind the wedding cake. You're ignoring the signs, Jenna. But remember, I warned you. Duly noted, Linda. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to dance with my husband at our wedding, which, by the way, is going wonderfully despite the bad signs. Jake caught my eye from across the room and gave me a thumbs up, knowing all too well the conversation I'd just survived. We spent the rest of the night dancing, laughing, and truly enjoying every moment. Life after the wedding felt like a sweet dream, but as with all dreams, reality has a way of creeping in. Linda's relentless comments were that reality for me. Every time we visited, she'd have some snarky comment ready. One Sunday afternoon, we were at her place for what I hoped would be a peaceful visit. No such luck. So, Jenna, Linda began as she served the tea. Still no good news on the baby front? You know, I read that some people are just cursed. Bad energy or something. I almost choked on my tea. Linda, really, that's not how it works. We've seen the doctor, everything's fine. These things take time. Time, huh? Or maybe it's just not meant to be. She shrugged, sipping her tea like she hadn't just suggested my uterus was cursed. I was fuming, but Jake squeezed my hand under the table.